We are back with yet another informative and entertaining podcast. So buckle up your seats and get ready. Namaskar, Devyo Sajjano. This is your host, Aditya Pratap Singh joining in for today's amazing podcast session brought to you by Team Enactus Shamal College Evening, a team of brilliant minds dedicated to bringing forward about a change in the society. Through our podcast, we intend to bring forth the stories of inspirational and fabulous people. Last week, we interacted with Mr. Akash Tandon, the founder of Pehchan Street School, a non-governmental organization. As for today's podcast, we are extremely delighted to have another fabulous personality known for her warmth, both positivity, and charms. She is a remarkable yoga influencer and nutritionist who has inspired thousands with her transformative yoga practice. Welcome to the show, Ms. Deepika Lalwani.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Aditya.
I'm sure, just like me, the viewers are also really excited to explore the paths to wellness, self discovery, and inner peace through your guidance. So, without any further ado, let's start with the Q&A round.
Yep, let's go. I'm also equally excited, by the way.
That's cool.
Yeah.
All right, Ms. Lalwani, your journey as a yoga influencer has touched the lives of so many people. Can you share with us how you first discovered yoga and what drew you to this practice?
Okay, so just before the podcast started, me and Aditya were discussing how I kind of was introduced to yoga when I was child. I was actually very little, and now when I try to recall, it is amazing how my father brought in yoga into all our lives. And when we were very little, and when I would tell him that I'm not able to sleep, and as little as 4 or 5 years, and somehow I have a very good memory, so I am able to recall stuff from that far back. So he used to help me sleep, and what he used to do was yog nidra. He used to do like a guided sleep thing. If you know what yog nidra is, you would know what I'm saying. So at that time I did not know that it is yoga, because I was, like I said, 4 or 5 years old. But he knew that how he is helping me. And then in my household, for everything, we had a very yoga kind of a solution. So that's why I feel that yoga has always been there in my life. My father is a very very knowledgeable person, and he has a very good knowledge of yoga. He doesn't teach yoga like me, but he has read the original ancient textbooks in all these fields, because he's a Sanskrit scholar. He used to teach Sanskrit and astrology in Delhi University. Now he is retired, but he's an astrologer still. So yeah, all those things. It's a part of my upbringing, basically.
Wow, that's amazing. It's incredible how one experience can lead us onto such a transformative path, I'll say.
Yeah.
And as an influencer, you've been able to inspire and guide others on their yoga journeys. So, the next question again would be, how do you approach your role in helping people find their own connection to yoga?
How do I approach my role? Okay, so first of all, I believe that if somebody has to be helped, because I believe in a higher power. I believe that the universe helps people, not the individuals. The individuals are chosen as a medium. Okay, and probably as you guys grow older, you will realize that what I'm saying is probably right. So when somebody has to be helped, then only they will get the right kind of idea to go to the right kind of person and get the right kind of solution. And once that person approaches me, then all right, then I kind of, with my experience and everything, then I'm able to initiate them towards a healthy lifestyle, and depending on whatever issues they have. And recently, for last 3 to 4 years, I have really transitioned into more of therapeutic and restorative yoga, rather than doing all the the fancy looking stuff, like handstands kar rahe hain, extreme backbends kar rahe hain. I have slowly transitioned from there to a more restorative kind of approach. So
All right. That's amazing. I mean, Would you like to tell us a bit about your personal yoga journey and how it has transformed your life over the years?
So like I said, my exposure to yoga happened when I was very little, and I knew that you can find answers in yoga, in meditation, in dhyan, But I was just living like a any other teenager, and I was I was preparing for a medical entrance test basically. So I wanted to become a doctor, but that didn't happen. I didn't get selected, right? So then I did my graduation in biochemistry, then I did my master's in biotechnology, then I did another so many years of studying this, that, then I got a job. So I was working, everything was going, just like life keeps happening to you, getting married, this, that. Then, so not until I had my child, I did not look at yoga or fitness as a field of work that I would choose, right? Because my mind was from childhood. जैसे अगर आपने वो थ्री इडियट्स मूवी देखी है तो उसमें कैसे बेटा पैदा होगा तो इंजीनियर बनेगा, बेटी पैदा होगी तो डॉक्टर बनेगी. I grew up with that mindset. कि मेरा भाई इंजीनियर है. Okay? One of my brothers is an engineer. I was supposed to be a doctor, and the youngest brother was supposed to be an MBA. तो वो दोनों तो वही कर लिए. मैंने बायोटेक्नोलॉजी कर लिया. बट देन आफ्टर हैविंग माय चाइल्ड I was really unhealthy after delivering the baby. I was 20 kgs overweight, and that is when I started looking at my own fitness. Then I started religiously working out, and then slowly it so happened that it kind of dawned upon me that okay, this can be a career too, So that's how I got into this field.
All right. Okay. So, as a yoga influencer, you have a significant impact on people's lives. So, and
I hope so.
well, no, actually, it is very true, right? You are basically a yoga guru, right? You are teaching people, and somewhere whenever you tell people, you instruct people what to do, you are influencing them somehow, right? You're guiding them. So you have a significant impact on people's lives. And I'd like to ask, what inspired you to share your practice and teachings with others?
Share my practice with others. So another interesting story is that when around after say 3 years of having my child, so when my son was around 3 years old, this is 2013 I'm talking about. So I was already a fitness trainer. I was teaching people various formats. So कैसे होता है ना, आप एक जर्नी शुरू करते हो and then you're exploring कि कहाँ उसमें भी like fitness में भी there are so many things that you can do. Like you can do Zumba, you can do indoor spinning, you can do Pilates, you can do yoga, you can do this, that. So I was teaching a lot of different formats, all the above that I named, right?
Yes.
And then it so happened that I injured my back. So I had like a double disc injury. Two of my discs, they जिसको slip disc बोलते हैं. I call it disc bulge because that's like a more technical term. तो मेरे को double disc bulge हो गया. I was not able to sit. I was not able to stand. I was not able to lie down. It was that painful. And that was the time I started kind of looking inwards as to what is going wrong, and that is how what started off as something that I used to heal myself. I learned a lot through that process, and then I applied the same knowledge to other people, and thankfully people benefited from that. And not just a back injury. I mean, there was a time when I was overusing my body, and I had like a knee injury, shoulder injury, wrist injury, elbow injury. Everything was like gone for a toss. And that happens, with athletes also. If you were to interview an athlete, they'll tell you how many injuries they go through.
Yeah.
But then kind of after going to a lot of expensive physiotherapists, and you know how some doctors are these days, कि अब आ गया बकरा तो इसको काट लो, तमाम टेस्ट करवा लो ये. So but what I realized that all the answers lie within your body and you have to just start listening. So it started off as that. I started with healing myself, and then I just kind of use that knowledge for everybody else.
Okay, great. एंड आई रियली बिलीव लाइक जो आपने कहा बीच में आपने कहा कि यू नो द आंसर लाइज विद इन सो आई रियली बिलीव दैट एंड आई ऑल्सो am a believer just like you, and I think that whatever our problems are, we can always look within us and we'll find the solution, the answer to that.
That is true. Our subconscious mind is always guiding us. We sometimes choose not to listen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, how do you train for yoga, and how do you learn more about it?
So, if I were to be honest, it will not sound very good on the podcast, but right now, because life is very busy, so I'm only training when I'm teaching. So, when I'm teaching my classes, that is the only time I get for my practice also. And but still, thankfully, I read a lot. Even now, I read a lot. So I keep, and there is this one very good thing about me, that I am always hungry for knowledge. I never settle down, because I'm also a hypnotherapist. I've learned hypnotherapy also, and there's one very good thing that I learned in hypnotherapy, and that is that one single thing that you should keep telling yourself is that I know that I don't know. Because the day you start telling yourself that I know everything, that is the day you stop learning, and then from there you start going downwards, right? So you should always be open for learning new stuff. Keep updating yourself, because so much is happening in the field of yoga also, when people are discovering so many things. Although this is like a really ancient science, but you know how there was a time in between where in India nobody wanted to do yoga, because we were like, हाँ ये तो घर की मुर्गी है. ये तो जब योगा को इंटरनेशनल पासपोर्ट मिल गया, वो यूएस यूके ट्रैवल करके आ गया, तो फिर हमको लगा अच्छा नहीं, इसमें कुछ अच्छा होगा, राइट? सो वी आर काइंड ऑफ रीडिस्कवरिंग अ लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स, and that's why that's how I keep learning. Practicing थोड़ी सी कम है, guilty, but
I mean, it's still commendable. Obviously, you've put in a lot of work in it, and all your efforts, I would rather say they're great. Well, on to the next question. How do you approach creating content that caters to individuals with different skill levels and body types?
All right. So, like I mentioned, recently I have kind of transitioned more into therapeutic and restorative yoga. So, if you go to my feed just now, you would see that I am not posting anything which is too difficult to achieve. For example, I am not posting how to master a handstand,
Yeah.
although it's a great skill to have, right? But does everybody need it? The answer is no. Everybody doesn't need to do a handstand. हमको पैरों पर भी अगर ढंग से चल ले बुढ़ापा आने तक, तो वो भी is like a good achievement, right? If you are 80-year-old and you're walking without a stick, awesome. So अभी क्या है कि because I have transitioned, so मेरे जितनी भी चीज़ें मैं content में use करती हूँ, they are always focused towards how to make your life better with doing very basic things in a correct manner, right? Instead of doing something very fancy and then hurting yourself, doing basic things in a correct manner. और अगर आपसे कुछ postures हैं जो आप नहीं कर पाते हो, तो what all props you can use, how you can deepen your practice, all those things. So that is my current approach. And a lot of, I'm talking a lot about how you can manage a lot of diseases through yoga. For example, diabetes हो गया, dyslipidemia or high cholesterol as we call it, वो हो गया, PCOD, PCOS हो गया, all those things.
Well, PCOD definitely is like a problem which women face, right? probably on some women face it on a monthly basis, and some do it like sometimes in their lives, right? Uh, and I believe that if through yoga, and like yoga doesn't include really great, that kind of exercises that you cannot do, right? And which is very suitable for everyone of any age, of any gender. So I think that if women are aware, if people practice yoga and get more involved with their body, they try like and understand what's within their body. There is
Yeah,
nothing great than that.
that's right.
So many people find it challenging to make time for self-care and establish a regular yoga practice. What advice would you give to these people struggling to prioritize their well-being?
See, the thing is that there is nothing called as struggling to prioritize. All right, that sentence needs to be corrected. Either you prioritize something or you don't. Right. For example, um, when you want to eat, do you go to the kitchen and make yourself bread omelette, which takes like literally 5 minutes, or do you order food on Zomato and then wait for 30 minutes? Right? It's as simple as that. Because if you're prioritizing your health, you would simply go and make like one do ande ka omelette or egg slice of multigrain bread, then you get all the nutrients and you're sorted. Versus you go on Zomato, then you order something unhealthy or any other platform for that matter. Not blaming Zomato. I mean, they've made it more convenient, obviously, but so that's what I'm saying. When you prioritize something, then you know that, okay, this is my priority. And I'm saying this from experience. When I prioritize, and I have prioritized eating healthy a long time back. So
Uh,
even if you take me to a restaurant, 90% of the times I am not even drawn towards the unhealthy food because I have prioritized it. So my mind knows, अच्छा इधर high fiber वाला कौन सा दिख रहा है, high protein वाला कौन सा दिख रहा है. So a lot of people think that I eat boring food, but that's
everyone can see the benefits of eating healthy.
yeah,
And I guess everyone should take note. There was the diet plan right there. I mean, you mentioned a good breakfast. What we call a good breakfast, a
yeah.
healthy breakfast. There, right there, it was there. So if you're looking for a midday snack or maybe something just to satisfy your cravings, that's right there.
Yeah, yeah, we can do like an entire separate podcast on that. It is not difficult. I'm telling you, it's not difficult. It's just a matter of setting your mind to it. जैसे
True
कैसे
that.
होता है ना, कल एग्जाम है तो आपको एकदम कंसंट्रेशन आता है कि नहीं अब तो पढ़ना ही पड़ेगा, कल एग्जाम है.
Right.
ट्रीट योर हेल्थ लाइक दैट कि ये तो एग्जाम ही है और मेरे को इसमें पास ही होना. बिकॉज अगर हेल्थ नहीं है तो फिर तो कुछ भी नहीं है ना, नो मैटर
Right.
हाउ रिच यू आर.
True that. And I think eating healthy and exercising daily, getting to know your body well, all of this is needs to be done, and they all follow each other, and it's
Right.
a cycle you need to follow.
Yep.
So yoga is often seen as a physical practice, but it also helps to deepen these spiritual roots. So how do you incorporate spirituality into your teachings, if at all?
I do. I'm a spiritual person. More spiritual than religious, I would say, because I like making my own rules.
Uh huh.
I'm not like कि अभी वो अमावस्या की रात है और तुमने अगर कुछ खा लिया तो तुम्हारी वो whatever, I don't believe in things. But I am very spiritual, and like I was telling you, I really believe in the higher power. I believe in the universe, and all those things. So the thing is that you cannot enforce spirituality on somebody. That's the
Right.
fact. People do get drawn towards spirituality when they are in that frame of mind and when they are in the right company. I just try and be myself and And if that inspires somebody to be spiritual and to start believing in the higher power, then it's up to them. If they choose to not believe in anything besides themselves, then that's also good, because then you are totally believing in yourself, and probably you will give 100% in everything, right?
Right.
So either ways.
Exactly. I mean, overall, it is about our beliefs. I mean, everybody should believe either in
Yeah, I mean, you have to believe in something. Either you
yeah,
believe in yourself or you believe in a higher power, or you can believe in both, right? But you have
right.
to believe in something.
Exactly. And when you believe, you actually start making up your mindset. You start building yourself that way. To you yourself make yourself able to choose the right track, go on the right path, which will lead obviously to success. So many people are interested in exploring different styles of yoga.
Hmm.
So, what do you believe is the role of nutrition in maintaining overall health and well-being in that?
Nutrition, like if you talk technically, then it's like 70% nutrition, 30% workout. But I would say that it is, I mean, if you don't have the right kind of diet, you actually can't sustain the workout, also, right?
Yeah.
Because let's say you're doing a really invigorating session of yoga, you're sweating it out and stuff, but आपका न्यूट्रिशन जो है वो ऐसा है नहीं कि आपकी बॉडी को सपोर्ट करे.
Mm.
So what will happen is that you will feel tired, you will feel exhausted, you will have all the soreness ठीक है सबको ही आती है, लेकिन वो जाएगी नहीं जल्दी से, and then you will get discouraged to continue. Not just yoga, any other form of workout also, no matter how simple it is, you know.
Right.
So nutrition is where it starts, and a lot of people are there who have mobility issues, जो ज़्यादा कुछ कर भी नहीं सकते, especially if they have like a physical condition that doesn't allow them to move much. But nutrition तो वो फिर भी manage कर सकते हैं, right?
Yeah.
So it all starts with a healthy diet, because a healthy diet is going to give you the fuel to do anything else with your body. Even to think about workout, you need food in the gut.
Yeah. And it is actually, I mean, I might not have mentioned it before, but it's great. Like, even after having, I mean, two slip discs, even after that, manage to motivate yourself and stay on track and, keep yourself healthy. Not everyone can do that, and it is very appreciable that you have been able to do it.
Thank you.
I mean, I just felt like taking a moment to appreciate that because it is very necessary.
Yeah. I mean, I had support from my family.
Okay. So, what? Sorry. What are the most common misconceptions or myths that you get to hear about nutrition, and how do you debunk them?
A most common myth is that eating healthy is difficult. It's not, trust me, because it is the most easiest thing that you can do. Eating unhealthy is more difficult, because then you have to, shell out more money on stupid foods that you don't really need.
Yeah.
Eating healthy means just getting all your micros and macros every single day. तो जो हम अपना देसी खाना खाते हैं ना, दाल रोटी दाल चावल with some sabzi, with
Yeah.
some salad, with some dahi, that is a very good meal to have, and if you want to learn an easy way of kind of plating your food correctly, then you just have to remember that a fistful of carbohydrates, this much is what you need, a palm full of protein is what you need, and a thumb जितना amount of fats, मतलब जो भी घी या तेल आप यूज कर रहे हो इतना सही चाहिए होता है. ये आपके मैक्रोस को सॉर्ट कर देगा, राइट? एंड आपके माइक्रोस जो है वो ऑटोमेटिकली आ जाएंगे व्हेन यू स्टार्ट ईटिंग इनफ फ्रूट्स एंड वेजिटेबल्स, व्हाट वी से 5 servings of fruits and vegetables. So if you kind of use your money to buy the right kind of stuff, then it is very very simple to maintain a good nutrition. और उसके लिए एक और बहुत बड़ा मिथ है ना, जो हम सारी फैंसी चीजें ढूंढने लग जाते हैं मार्केट में कि हमको एवोकाडो खाना है हेल्दी फैट के लिए, हमको आई डोंट नो कीनवा खाना है हाई प्रोटीन ग्रेन के लिए.
Yeah.
ये भी बहुत बड़ा मिथ है. जो चीज आपकी लोकली अवेलेबल है ना और सीजनल है, कोल्ड स्टोरेज में से नहीं आ रही, वो सारी चीजें आप खाओ, यू विल गेट ऑल द न्यूट्रिएंट्स दैट योर बॉडी नीड्स.
Yeah. I mean, yes, yes. Please continue.
आई वाज सेइंग उसके सिवा अगर कोई कमी रह जाती है, जो कि बहुत बार होता है, समटाइम्स यू नो वी आर सो बिजी इन लाइफ दैट वी आर नॉट एबल टू ईट इनफ, तो फिर आप सप्लीमेंटेशन कर लो, ईट योर मल्टीविटामिन्स, यू नो.
Right. And like many people, they are not able to manage that, and there is slightly a disbalance, I'll say, regarding the nutrition of nutrition that they intake every day, right? Either they take more of fats through obviously chips and pizzas and everything out there, or like there is a sort of balance they are not able to maintain. So how would you like to, like, obviously you've given the hand rule, right? The example of fats, but how would you like if you were to be more specific about it, then how would you guide them?
ऑलवेज रीड द लेबल. ओके, जब आप कुछ भी खरीदते हो, व्हेन यू बाइंग अ बैग ऑफ चिप्स, उस पे पीछे पढ़ो क्या लिखा हुआ है. उस पे आरडीए लिखा होता है ना सब चीज का.
Yeah.
Just read all those things, okay? And I mean, it is very important to be kind of aware of nutrition. थोड़ा basic knowledge होना चाहिए अपने पास, right? So you should know that अगर इसमें सोडियम बहुत ज़्यादा है, it is going to harm your body. अगर इसमें फैट बहुत ज़्यादा है, मान लो अगर वो 60% आरडीए फैट उसी एक चीज़ में से आपको मिल जा रहा है, तो it's just too much of fat, too much of fat, too much of sodium. So read the label and to oversimplify it, you know what I believe is that stay away from all those chips. It is not like कि आप उसको नहीं खाओगे तो कुछ बिगड़ जाएगा लाइफ में, right?
True that.
You can always make some snacks by yourself, or you can ask your parents to do it. घर के बने हुए snacks हमेशा healthier होते हैं, उसमें सोडियम भी कम होता है, उसमें घी भी कम होता है, और जो होता भी है वो पाम ऑयल नहीं होता है. सो इफ यू रीड एनी ऑफ दीज लेबल्स जो आप मार्केट से बाय करते हो स्नैक्स, उसमें हमेशा पाम ऑयल होता है, एंड पाम ऑयल इज वेरी वेरी डेंजरस फॉर योर ओवरऑल कोलेस्ट्रॉल प्रोफाइल. तो उसको छोड़ के जस्ट रोस्ट समथिंग, सम मखाना, या फिर जो घर का बना हुआ चिवड़ा होता है, उसको पोहे को रोस्ट किया, उसमें रोस्टेड पीनट्स डाला, खुद के नमकीन बना लो. एक बार एफर्ट लगता है, राइट? बट देन यू कैन store it for like a month or so.
Exactly. That's amazing right there. I mean, being a mom, right? You have the solution to everything and anything at all, right?
हाँ, बट ऐसा नहीं कि मेरा बेटा चिप्स नहीं खाता है, वो खाता है बीच बीच में, मैं उसको खाने भी देती हूँ, बिकॉज क्या है कि अभी द थिंग इज दैट यू शुड नॉट क्रिएट टू मच स्ट्रेस अराउंड फूड. ठीक है, थोड़ा बहुत खा लो. You want to eat chips, okay, eat a little bit. Yeah. But thing is that you keep educating yourself and you keep reminding yourself that what I'm eating is not healthy, so maybe I should stick to a smaller portion, not finish like a whole party pack.
Well, yeah, I have seen people do that.
Yeah, oh my god. And don't you feel like really bad inside the body, and the lips also become like very very weird?
Yeah, sort of. I don't really get it, the idea behind it. Are you trying to be the gluttony queen or the king of gluttons? I just don't get it.
Yeah. I don't know.
Well, again, moving on to the next question. In today's fast-paced world, many people struggle with finding time to prepare healthy meals. What are some practical tips you would like to offer for incorporating nutritious choices into a busy lifestyle?
Prepare your meal plans in advance. Okay, so what we used to do, now we're not doing it because we have, I mean, at that time also we had cook and everything, but our my work was like, it required me to leave home very early in the morning because I'm a yoga coach. So But now, because most of my work is online, so I have a different kind of time available with me. Not that I cook much, but what I'm trying to say is, yeah, when we knew that we will not be home to tell the cook what to make, we used to make plan for the whole week
Yeah.
as to who will eat what. And we also made sure that the cook chops and keeps things ready for dinner. So the cook will make breakfast and lunch and keep the basics ready for dinner. So if you can't afford a cook, that's okay, but you do get at least one day in a week or one day in a month. So what you can do is you can pre-plan your meals. You know, chop everything, puree the tomatoes, mixie में उसको पीस के रख लो, store it in an airtight jar in your fridge. You can also store it in the freezer, right? You can chop the vegetables, boil them and keep them, so that you have healthier options. A lot of time what happens is that when you are feeling super hungry, you go into the kitchen, you see what is easily available, easiest to grab, and you eat that, right? So easiest to grab should be healthy food.
Uh-huh.
बिकॉज देयर इज समथिंग कॉल्ड 20 सेकेंड रूल. क्या होगा कि अगर आप सिर्फ 20 सेकेंड किसी चीज को ज्यादा मुश्किल बना दोगे, तो आपका दिमाग ऑलरेडी आपको वो करने के लिए रोक देगा. बिकॉज दैट्स 20 more seconds of effort, 20 more seconds of work, right?
Uh-huh.
So store your unhealthy food somewhere deep down into the pantry. Only take it out when you are partying, or maybe not even then. But
Yeah.
kabhi kabhi.
People, please make note of all this. You all need it very much. I mean, मेरे classmates अगर आप लोग देख रहे हैं, please make notes.
या छुपा के रखो अनहेल्दी फूड, और जो हेल्दी फूड है वो एकदम सामने सामने होना चाहिए. सो दैट व्हेन यू हंग्री, ग्रैब किया, खाया. वेजिटेबल्स हैं, सॉल्ट पेपर डाला, खाया. फ्रूट्स हैं, कट फ्रूट्स हैं,
Yeah.
यू नो, उठाया और खाया. क्योंकि कई बार क्या होता है कि फ्रूट है घर में, लेकिन ऐसा लगता है अरे यार कौन कट करेगा अभी, चलो चिप्स खा लेते हैं. बट अगर वो कट है, वाटरमेलन है, काट के रखा हुआ है, तो आप खा लोगे, राइट?
Right. And people tend to, I don't know why do you have to even take shortcuts. Obviously, ordering online is like, okay, it is very convenient if
Yeah.
you,
But it takes longer.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, the idea was to, provide food to people at the 11th hour if they need it. But then again, now people are using it as like, as a means not to go out.
As an excuse to be lazier.
Yeah, exactly. And, I mean, this lethargy, where are you taking this? I mean, all of this will actually make you into a couch potato, eating
Yeah.
all that, Well, it's people won't say much. I shouldn't. All right. But people, please, if you're hearing to this podcast, if you're listening to our talks here, please make sure that you take a healthy diet. It is your gentle reminder here. Please take care of your health. Your health matters a lot. Would you like to say anything before we jump to the rapid fire round, ma'am?
No, I think I've been talking a lot. Yeah.
Well, that's what podcasts are about. I mean,
Yeah.
You know through podcasts you get to influence more people. You get to talk to people, and I mean, I'm getting to talk a lot. I mean, uh, I like to gossip. I like to chit chat. I like to talk a lot, and I'm totally enjoying it right now.
Then you're doing the right job.
Well, can't agree more. I mean, that's why I signed up for this. So, should we start with the rapid fire round?
Let's do it.
Sure. There. All right. So, rapid fire round. Basically, here you get 10 seconds to answer all the questions. I mean, not all the questions at once, but
Yeah,
yeah,
one by one.
yeah.
Okay,
One
I've seen Coffee with Karan. I know rapid fire.
Uh, all right. Okay. So here's the first question. Favorite yoga pose?
Vajrasan.
Okay.
Do I need to tell the reason also?
Sure, you can.
Because it's one of the essential poses, and when I do my own meditation, I sit in Vajrasan. So it's something that I practice daily, basically.
Okay. So second question. a positive impact of yoga on your life?
Oh, it has changed me completely as a person
Okay.
in a positive way. So patience levels have gone up, and the capability of understanding other people's perspective,
Yeah.
that has increased like many folds. Because when you are younger, when I was younger, I used to think that kuch bhi bol raha hai, that kind of a thing. Now I'm able to understand what the other person is coming from.
Yeah. So you've been more insightful and more receptive about
Yep.
people and their feelings. That's
Yes.
great.
More grounded also.
That's amazing. Right. Next question. Your go-to yoga outfit?
Hmm. Well, I just keep buying clothes. I have this obsession, yeah. So I don't have a favorite outfit, but yeah, wherever I go, I just, even if I'm traveling internationally, I just keep looking for fitness clothes.
Okay. All right. Next question. Do you have a favorite yoga mat?
But the one that I am using currently, it's very nice. It has like cork on one side and rubber on one side, and it's just the perfect mat ever. It's
Wow.
from We Are Fit. If you want to look it up on Amazon, WER, the single alphabet, and FIT.
Okay, people, yoga people, right there. You get it.
Yeah, they have a lot of variants, but this one with cork on one side is perfect because it just gives the right amount of resistance. It doesn't stop you from moving. मतलब इसमें चिपक नहीं जाते हैं. Movement का
Okay.
scope रहता है. Yes.
All right. Okay, so people, if you are getting a lot of resistance, your mats, if they're giving you a lot of resistance, please go for the prescribed yoga mat.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So the next question is, what is your preferred time of day to practice yoga?
Whenever you get time. I don't like to tie myself down in that way. And whenever I have time, whenever it's like there've been like couple of hours since I last ate, and my stomach is feeling relaxed, I can practice anytime.
Okay. Uh, your favorite yoga mantra or affirmation?
I am abundant.
Oh, that's amazing. That's great.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, we need to tell that to ourselves time to time.
Yes.
That's amazing for being self motivated.
It creates a very abundant mindset, and you stop worrying about small things.
Yeah, right. There you have it. Okay, next question is your thoughts on the connection between yoga and spirituality.
They go hand in hand. The ultimate goal of yoga is to achieve samadhi, right? The
Yeah,
place where you become
one with nature,
one with the universe.
universe, right?
Yoga is the path that leads to the ultimate levels of spirituality.
Right. Okay, so what are your future goals as a yoga influencer?
My future goal is to reach 1 million followers on Instagram. Yeah, no.
Well,
That, why not? And plus, I would like to create a lot of content that is helpful for people, because when somebody specifically messages me and tells me that I made a content around something and they really benefited from it, then that is very rewarding for me as as a coach.
yeah.
So I would like to continue to do that, make content which really makes sense. किसी गाने पे डांस करके या कुछ टिकटॉक ट्रेंड फॉलो करके पॉपुलैरिटी नहीं गेन करना है मुझे. आई वांट टू क्रिएट मीनिंगफुल कंटेंट.
That's great. And that is like, we actually need influencers like you. And there has been a rise. We have all seen the rise of these influencers that you mentioned right now. I don't have to go through it. All right. So I hope that you fulfill, that you get all those viewers, all those, I mean, the viewers who are watching this, obviously they'll subscribe to your channel. I'm very sure. Will you not?
Yes,
I,
it's called Stay Fit with Deepika. Okay.
yeah.
Like, subscribe, जो भी बोलते हैं वो सारी चीजें.
And if you're looking for the link, it will be right there in the description box. I'll ask the technical team to put it right there.
Awesome.
Okay, that concludes our rapid fire round and also the session for today. Thank you for taking out time and making this podcast full of knowledge and spirituality. It was wonderful interacting with you, ma'am, and I hope that our viewers will definitely benefit from all the information, all the knowledge that you have shared through this podcast. A huge thanks to the people watching this podcast, all the viewers, and to the team for making this podcast successful.
Thank you so much for having me, and it's a really good opportunity to reach younger audience like you know, because I think that if the younger you start, the better it is for you.
Right,
Because
that's
like I told you, I only started after gaining 20 kilos in my pregnancy. In my pregnancy, I was eating all kind of junk food, all, you know, those caramel cookies and God knows what. जो भी
yeah,
मेरा मन करता था. But now I think that maybe, although I don't regret anything in life, but maybe I could have eaten healthier if I had known, you know, or maybe I could have saved myself from injuries. If somebody taught me the restorative techniques at that time, I could have saved myself from injuries. You know, there
yeah,
are so many things. So it's always good to learn from others. So maybe the people who are listening to this podcast today can understand that workout is not always about, you know, killing yourself, sweating, and you should always make time for restorative techniques, listen to your body, and um, undo the damage that you are doing with other activities so
yeah,
that you don't reach a point where the injury happens.
yeah. And would you like to share any other thing with our viewers here? Maybe a thought, anything that you would like to tell them as a motivator?
See, my mantra in life is that always, um, in your mind, you should always be grateful. Okay, because if you're grateful for something, you get more of it, and I have seen it in my life. So अगर आप crib करते रहोगे, तो you know you're releasing all the negative thoughts in the universe. और universe को ना नहीं समझ आता. तो
Yeah,
अगर आप बोलोगे मुझे बारिश नहीं चाहिए, मुझे बारिश नहीं चाहिए, मुझे बारिश नहीं चाहिए, बारिश होगी, क्योंकि यूनिवर्स सिर्फ बारिश शब्द सुनेगा. ठीक है, तो हमेशा पॉजिटिव थॉट्स छोड़ो, यूनिवर्स में ग्रेटफुल थॉट्स छोड़ो. ऑलवेज बी ग्रेटफुल फॉर योर व्हाट यू हैव, फोकस on what you have, and also set goals. Okay, and that way you will be able to reach your goals much more easily when you are grateful, right?
yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much for your thoughts, ma'am. All right. So, with this, we have ended with our podcast session for today. See you next week with yet another podcast session, which will obviously be informative and will be hosted by yours truly. So, stay put, stay tuned, and stay healthy.
Yeah, bye bye.
Thank you.